There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I go by the name of Caution, Mr. 700. You're now tapped in with Allova Radio, live from Allova Media Studios, 8204 Elmbrook Drive, Dallas, Texas. Hit me for all your podcasting and media needs. But damn all of that though. We sitting here with two illustrious guests. An honor to have them on the platform. I'll start with the brother to my right. I'll let them introduce themselves, man.
What up? I'm Oktober1st, music producer, mix engineer, and entrepreneur.
Hey, Amp Buchannan, A&R executive producer, artist manager, producer manager. Whatever you want to call it, I do it and get it done.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. So before even getting into anything else, man, I think it's dope. The majority of the time that I see you all is together. You know what I'm saying? And I've always seen Oktober because, you know, going back to the Necessary days, like that was my guy. So, you know, I kind of seen and knowing you from way back. But like, what's you all's dynamic, man? Tell people, you know, how y'all know each other and, you know, how your relationship came to be. You know what I'm saying?
You want me to take it, bro?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, man, I started off being an artist manager here in Dallas.
Okay.
And once I really got to the grassroots, the circle always came back to, you know, the godfather of rap in Dallas. And not just rap, but the whole music industry. And that was Oktober1st. So I bumped into him a few times, went and checked out. It was when Jason Lyric dropped Cashmere Don.
Okay.
And they had a listening party. It was far north Dallas at a hookah lounge. And, you know, I just introduced myself. And like at first, man, I was like, man, this nigga don't fuck with me.
Right.
Because he quiet, man. He don't say nothing. And I was A&R'ing for a, what would you call it? It was like reggaeton, but she was a Mexican artist. Her name was La Prana.
Okay.
And he had made this beat and put it online, and it was crazy. It was like a Punjabi mixed with reggaeton. And I purchased the beat from him. I called him. I was like, hey man, I want to lease that beat from you.
Right.
And he was like, all right, bet, bro. You cash apped him the bread and send me the beat. Man, that Friday, that Music Friday, Bad Bunny dropped a record with the same sample on there.
Are you serious?
Man. I was heated. And I hit him. I was like, hey, bro, I can't use that beat no more. He was like, why? I sent him he was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, he opened up the file for me, sent me like 20 beats. It was like, man, whatever one you want, it's yours.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my story of how I met Oktober, man.
That's love, man. And how long you been in the position of being like an A&R and first, before you even say that, describe to people what an A&R does for those who don't know.
Man, artists and repertoire, where we wear many hats. From making sure there's water in the studio, you know, for the collective, making sure that everybody's comfortable. But I'm more of a Swiss Army knife. My artists and repertoire would be for the producer community.
Okay.
When they make beats, they make them accessible to me. And if I'm in the lab with a Def Jam artist, if I'm in the lab with an Atlantic artist, I go to their beats first. So I A&R for producers versus A&R for artists. Okay. And then, you know, for the most part, when I do open up those files to artists, they're like, oh man, you Lone Star, Oktober, Donnie, all of those people. And that's who I A&R for.
So you hit a studio with a loaded clip on the nigga and they don't even know it. You know what I'm saying?
If I get in there, if they allow me to play my beats, I'm not missing.
Right.
There's time where I'm invited and they know who they are. I'll be invited just to say that I'm there, but they won't give me the opportunity to play my beats because they already know what time it is and what I'm coming with.
And it's gonna be a certain kind of conversation as well. You see what I'm saying? That's the major thing. And that for artists, especially, I can speak from a rapper's perspective. For artists, especially, that conversation niggas don't be wanting to have. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really being honest, like because then you get the let's link and let's work on some shit, but it's never about
the business.
Let's get transactional. You know what we here for? Like let's stop playing. October, for people who don't know, man, you a big deal, man, and not just, I don't want to say out here because then that, you know, that makes you a regional name. No, for the people
cool too.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. You know, 2-time Grammy nominated producer. You know what I'm saying? Round of applause for that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta, you know, give the flowers when you're in the presence of people. Billboard #1.
Yeah.
Like, for those who don't know, and I had a conversation with Miggy once. We sat in here and talked about it. And when you have a certain level of success, what keeps you motivated?
Well, he does for one.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, my little man Parker's in here with us.
Shout out to that, man.
I'm motivated by life in general. God is definitely one of my big inspirations. My mother is one of my biggest inspirations. Okay. So, I'm just overall, my motivation comes from within.
Facts.
Yeah.
And the continuance of success, one would think, right? So just to be able to sustain it, I think what was a interesting part of the conversation with that was, like, what do you do for those who've never reached a certain level of success? Like, him reaching it, thinking that he hit the pinnacle, it was like, what do you do next, though? You see what I'm saying? Like, what's the next move?
There's one common denominator in successful people. What they have is never enough. Because you can reach a level of success where you can take care of yourself, and then you can reach a level of success where you start taking care of other people.
Right.
When other people start relying on you, then you have a whole new drive, to keep going and keep getting more.
Right, because it's not about just being self-sustained at that point. That makes sense. What do you all look for when determining which artists you want to work with? Or does it matter as long as they can pay for what they want?
No. It when you're young, that may be the case. When you get a little skin in the game or a lot of it, you have to narrow your focus and pick, because you realize you can't work with everybody.
That's true.
Because y'all just not, you don't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
So you pick and choose who you want to work with. It becomes less about money and more about the outcome.
Gotcha.
That's kind of how I've always patterned my business model, and especially when it comes to music.
Yeah, for sure. For me, I used to chase it. I used to have to be in every studio session, with the who's who. And then once I bust through that ceiling, now I sit still and it usually finds me. The right artists, once they figure out who's really doing it, that's when the phone call comes. It's like, man, I thought so-and-so could do it, but I see that. Can you help? And then, I'll shoot a record to October and he'll be like, nah, I'm good on this one. Right. Or I'll shoot him a record. He'll be like, set up a studio session. Okay. And that's how we go. I shoot it up. The chain of command is cool. Like, if he say no, we not doing it. If he say let's get it, that's how we doing it. And we move like water. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's important, the importance of a team, everybody playing their roles specifically, being an asset instead of a liability. Like, those things are big in these situations. What part, as far as the artist's role, what are the expectations of an artist coming into a situation like that if it's not transactional?
Man, so right now the benchmark is Rakim Al-Jabbar.
Shout out to my brother. That's my guy.
Yeah, that's the benchmark, man. Betting on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Not being afraid to, say, hey man, let's go bowling. Let's go do some team building activities. That's what we are. If you show love, we show love back. And that's what it's a family. Right. So that's why we're so selective about who we deal with and who we allow in, because one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch.
Definitely, man. I think it's interesting that you bring up Rakim, because for me, as an observer, as somebody on the other side of it, if I'm a consumer of music, Rakim is probably one of the dopest niggas I've ever met as far as music goes. As far as, like, my first song I ever heard from Rakim was a song called The Antidote that was produced by Static Selector. And, like, everywhere I would go, I saw him perform it. I would ask him to perform it. Every show I seen him at, like, say, bro, you gotta do that song. You know what I'm saying? But I think to hear what y'all saying and, like, what your formula is, and knowing the path in which he's taken, and for for you all to collide in a way that makes sense. I'm very interested by that, man. I am. He did speak a little bit about it when he was here recently. If you can, whatever information, I know it's coming this month, but like, how did that relationship, same way that y'all talking about now, as far as being in sessions and seeing people, like, how did that happen?
Oh man, so 2022, I decided I wanted to put together a group. It was a trio. It was Rakim Al-Jabbar, QP, and AP the Apostle. It was called Prophet God.
Yep, shout out to Prophet God.
And at first it was just AP and QP. And I thought Rakim was like this well-oiled machine. Like, I would see him always performing in Deep Ellum, and I would see him on flyers, and I would see him with Bun B and you know, and what's my man name from Fort Worth, Hispanic cat that
Smooth Vega.
Smooth Vega. Yeah. So when I bumped into Rakim, I thought he had this team. So when I talked to him, he was like, "Nah, bro, it's just me,
just him."
And I was like, "Bullshit, man!" Like, nah. He was like, "No, it's me." So I hit up Oktober, and Oktober was like, "Man, whatever you need to get this off the ground, I got you. I engineer it, maybe even chunk you some beats." And it was supposed to be a single. We were starting off with a single.
Gotcha.
And I got a beat from Lone Star. And it was called Money Conversations.
Dope.
And every last one of them niggas laid one of the best verses that they had ever done before.
Right.
And the mastermind, Oktober, spins around in his chair from engineering the session and looks and was like, "This not gonna be no single.
Right.
We got to put together a full project."
Dope.
And that's how we, you know, Rakim's work ethic was the best out of the other two. So the relationship just moved forward after we went past Prophet God.
That's dope, man. That's dope. That's super dope. I love to hear those kind of stories, just because it happens in the work. Like, I always ask the question to creatives, like, what's your favorite part, the performance or the creation? You see what I'm saying? Like, creating of the music, or like the performance and seeing people's reaction to it.
That's crazy. That's a good question.
Yeah, like, what would you all say as far as that goes? Like, seeing an artist perform, or like even yourself, or being on the other side of it and the creation of it?
I would say being a creator. I actually think seeing people perform it gives you a different high.
Yeah.
As opposed to just being in the studio working on the records and you know, not knowing how successful it's gonna be,
right? And
then to see somebody perform that same record that people know the words, and
it is different. It is different
for sure.
Yeah. I'd say and I always ask that because I think like the creation is where the stories typically are made. Like, you hear some of the dopest shit from, whether you're into hip hop or you into rock and roll, or you're into country or folk music, there's always things that accompany the artist that go along with it.
Right.
But yeah, I think that performance aspect, man, if you've ever like seen a crowd react to something you created, like seeing something to nothing and the fruition of it, like, it's super dope. So yeah, it's always something I want to ask creators when I'm talking to them. You know what I'm saying? Always.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. M-Saw and Live Nation put together the Triple D experience, and it was like a month after we dropped Prophet God.
Yeah,
and I'm talking about Bobby Sessions, Trey Haggerty, Nezzy, like the whole High Standards roster.
Yeah,
even some other Dallas artists, and to see a product go from inception to completion, and then seeing a crowd nod their heads to your product, like, I feel like that was my heaven right there. You know what I'm saying? So like, I've done it. So nobody can take that away from me. I A&R'd it, put together like all of the beats, and we saw it as a team to completion. So like, for me, I feel like Kobe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I go today, I'm straight.
No, not Kobe.
Facts.
No, you feel.
Right. You orchestrated.
High booty feel.
That's dope, man. I love to see good shit come together, man. Especially like talented artists and creatives, man. That shit is always entertaining to me. What are some of the things that you all have going on, you know, in the future, you know, for people to look towards, like something that maybe that's coming or you got in the works outside of things that people already know?
Ooh.
That you can talk about, you know, that shit that get a little sticky.
We had a session the other day. We definitely can't talk about that one.
Yeah.
Been working on a country album with Chris Michaels.
Okay.
Jason Lyric's definitely working. I have a few on Rakim Al-Jabbar's project.
Nice.
Yeah, I would say that's probably my girl Portia.
Okay.
Working on, she's a writer and an artist, so working on some stuff with her too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, other than that, it is a few, you know, that's a few things. It doesn't really make sense to talk about.
Yeah, you got to see things through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Amp's been working, so he's very plugged, and you know, we got some stuff, you know, just not with me, but with the rest of the crew.
Just in general, right.
Yeah, stuff that's locked in, and you know, so we'll wait till that comes out.
Definitely. So you and Lyric still working?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of Jason Lyric, man.
Yeah.
He was one of the first like early people to come on the platform and talk with us. I think it was around the time of, man, I can't remember what project. It was like maybe 2 or 3 joints ago. You know what I'm saying? Came through and chopped it up with us, man.
Probably Brick 4.
Great. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah. Great guy though. Great guy. Great story as well. Yeah, I think in general, the Dallas scene as far as like the artists here, like how do y'all feel about the current scene and the current affair things? Like I've always felt, my personal opinion, it's always been very producer heavy. Like I've always felt like the producers have always carried the weight as far as Dallas goes, in my opinion. Just from seeing it, the different movements and waves, the individuals that work, the work has been done, the Grammy nominations to Grammy wins, you know what I'm saying? The people that others may not even know about specifically. But how do y'all feel about the current state of music in Dallas?
I love it.
I mean, honestly, we lit right now. Like, not just producers or artists. Like, it's a bunch of people coming out. Obviously, you know, the latest is 4 Bats. You know, having somebody from Dallas, you know, on OVO when there's really not a bunch of people on OVO right now is a great look. And if he keeps going the direction he's going in, not only will he survive, he'll thrive. Yeah. And that's just all that does, is just kicking doors and opportunities for everybody else to walk through it too.
It's a question. I got a couple of media types coming through. Shout out to my brother Bryson Boom Paul. I got him and from the Observer, and then I got Alex Gonzalez coming up here. And I'm the question that I'm gonna ask them, it was about that specific situation, as far as like when you do have an artist like that, why do you think there wasn't a lot of coverage from it from like the local media? You see what I'm saying? I didn't see a lot of local media covering it at all. It
don't matter.
Right.
It don't matter if they cover it or not. He's still gonna do what he's supposed to do. Local media is cool, but it has nothing to do with the level of success that he can or can't reach.
Doesn't affect the bottom line.
Yeah, worrying about your own, worrying about media coverage in your own backyard means nothing in this day and age. Yeah, especially in the digital world. If you got every other site from XXL to Hip Hop DX to, wherever else you can, Billboard posting it, whatever it is. If everybody else is posting it, then it really doesn't matter. I seen the question come up, but I didn't see the correlation between, I honestly and truly, I didn't even know he was from Dallas. Like, I didn't even know. Like, I literally found out when I saw people talking about it, like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like the disconnect is the same disconnect that the artist has with the producers.
That's a fact.
It's, and this is one of my pillars that I stand on, is bridging the gap between the artists and the producers. There's artists, when they do make it, they come in and take them out of Dallas and put them in a penthouse in New York or in LA, and they shove the producers that are already signed to the labels down their throats. Then the budget is raped and all that stuff, and it's the same thing with the media. Dallas is a top 5 market, right? But when an artist blows, that's when we pay attention.
Facts.
And then the same thing with the media. 4 Bats blows, now everybody else wants to interview him when he was here the whole time. When Act 1 and Act 2 came out, he was doing his thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But now everybody wants to talk about if he's, a plan or whatever. But no, he's not. He's been here and he did the work. And now we're talking about it after the fact. And that's one thing Dallas has to get on board with, is when you getting in early with an artist. You know what I'm saying? There's not one artist that is blowing up right now that I don't have access to.
Fact.
That my producers don't have access to. As soon as I see them making some noise, hey man, we might want to get with Montana 700. Hey man, we might want to get with Zillionaire Doe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they up next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I talked to Big X the Plug's manager, and shout out to Cal. They didn't even know Grammy nominated producers and producers that work with Eminem and Rick Ross were right in their own backyard that wants to work with them.
Right.
Yep. So it just takes executives that are really plugged in, that don't have an ego, that want to see everybody else win to move it forward.
Right. I think a lot of artists should take like a course on the actual structure of the music business and see how it really works, because I think there's a lot of that shit that goes unknown to niggas until they really get into the weeds of everything, right? So a nigga may not even know how to get, they still may be reaching out to niggas on YouTube to try to buy beats from them, you know what I'm saying? Because they hear a J. Cole type beat, and like you said, not knowing there's somebody in their own backyard that's out here already putting in work. Or there may be somebody like you that, like, if you really got talent and the right people around you to connect you with the individuals that you need to know. Right. I think there's a lot of ignorance that goes into the music industry as far as because most of it is young. Like, you looking for young artists that you can mold or whatever it is. And not mold is a bad term for today's society. Let me not say mold, but somebody that you can work with in order to reach a common goal, right? So is it even worth the time to go about it like the traditional way, how it used to be, of trying to like artist development, or do you want like a ready-made type of prospect?
I think it's worth the time.
Yeah.
If you want longevity.
Right.
If you just want to splash and milk it, then no. Because it's we're actually moving out of the content driven industry. We don't even know where it's going. But I mean, 4 Bats is proof that anything is possible.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Lightning in a bottle. He on the track with Drake. And we all
that quick
looking at
that quick and signed to him too.
Right. It wasn't just like a remix.
Yeah.
Like, no, the remix is coming after you find out what we just did. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I think I had seen one clip of him at a show or something, and like they had some interaction. It was at one of the biggest of what shows on the tour, and that was like the first time I really heard of him. And then I seen he had signed, but like there's no path. That's why I used to hate when niggas used to try to say you got to do X, Y, and Z to get to where you need to be in the wherever. There's no path in this shit, bro. Like everybody can tell you a different way into this thing that they've made it. So I think it's just about being you and seeing where that takes you, man. Like, you know, be genuine out here. Stop trying to be an industry plant.
You have to have a team now.
That's a fact.
You gotta have a team. Yeah. You gotta have niggas that's willing to do the dirty work. Yeah. You gotta have, if it's 8 people, all 8 people got to be rowing at the same time.
Now, I want to say about the team thing is make sure that you don't have a bunch of people that do the exact same thing.
For facts.
Because if you have a puzzle and all the pieces are the same, you can't put the picture together.
For sure.
Yeah, a team full of 3 and D niggas. Right. Not going nowhere. I better throw a D Rose or fucking Allen Iverson in there or something. No, that's a good point though, because a lot of people think numbers, like a strength in numbers. I think one of the realest Hove lines of all time is when he said, "Hove, it's not many of us." I told him, "Less is more. It's plenty of us." You know what I'm saying? One of the realest bars ever, because it's the truth. If everybody plays their roles specifically, then I don't need 20 niggas. We can get this done in 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly and truly. So no, that's a big deal though. That's a huge deal. But no, man, I'm not anything else y'all want to touch, man. I'm not gonna keep y'all long. I appreciate y'all for coming out, man, and actually even coming to bless the spot, man. It's a huge deal for y'all to be here. I don't know if y'all know that.
Thank you for
man, definitely, man. Let people know where they can find y'all, man. Your social medias, any of that, where you want to be, you know, anything you promoting, all of that.
At Oktober1st, OKTOBER, the number 1 ST, on all platforms. I also run one of the largest bail bond companies in North Texas, Southern Bail Bond. So if you get in trouble, you know, our motto is bad things happen to good people. Give us a shout. You know, got 4 locations, working on a 5th one. Other than that, you know, just stay tuned, I guess, for whatever we are involved in. You know, we try to make sure that it's quality over quantity. You know what I'm saying? So Dallas, I'm proud of everything that y'all doing as an enterprise city, as a music city, I believe we got a festival coming this summer, like 2-3 days. Like
Together Lanes.
It just makes total sense, you know, to just get involved. The days that you having to move somewhere else to make it happen, that's obviously not true.
Right.
I mean, we keep dropping. Jason didn't have to leave.
Facts.
Forbats obviously didn't have to leave. Yella didn't have to leave. You know what I'm saying? We got all these people that, you know, that stayed here, stayed down, and got their chance. So, you know, Dallas, I'm really proud of my city and very happy to represent, you know, for the 214. Actually, the 972. The 9721469.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? 817, we'll throw y'all in there.
Yeah, throw them in there too, so they don't feel left out.
Yeah, go Yayo home. So,
Yeah.
you know, time for him to turn up. Y'all got to make sure y'all get behind him too.
Man, that's for real.
Let him do, you know, let him, you know, I saw the little interview that he was doing. And he said the old me was on some bullshit, so that means he's focused.
Evolving.
So these guys get out, they focus on the money, leave the bullshit behind, and get to it. You know, they just all they doing just kicking down the door for everybody else to follow. So
facts.
Well, at Amp Buchanan on IG, AMPBUCHANAN. I'm over 35, so I'm on Facebook heavy too.
Man, tell them about it. I'm right there with you, bro. Okay.
I'm on Facebook heavy too. That's my government name, Anthony Glenn Buchanan. I got a long list of shout outs, man. My wife, Janielle, my 2 kids, Taraji and Carter Buchanan, and then a host of individuals that allow me to do my job. We got Oktober1st, we got Lone Star Music, we got Sir Tim, we got Donnie Domino, we got Miggy Music, we got Dark Side, Keyshawn Allen, Alfonso McLemore, Meezy Relly, all of the producer group, man, they load me up with my packs and let me go do what I do, man. So shout out to all my homies, Pip as well, man. Pip made it. You know,
sir.
Them all my guys, man. I love y'all. And I appreciate you guys having us on the show.
Man, hey man, we're not gonna skip over.
No, come on, we ain't gotta go nowhere. Yeah, I ain't got nowhere to go.
Yeah, you know, yeah. So what has Mr. 700 been working on?
Man, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm in a conflict right now because like this for me, like as a rapper, of course, I feel like if you're a natural rapper, if you've done it your whole life, it's something you could do effortlessly. You see what I'm saying? It never goes anywhere.
Okay.
But this has consumed me, bro. Like, and only because it's opened doors for me, like that. It took me years in rap to get to. You see what I'm saying? Like it took me years in rap to get in certain conversations or to be even mentioned by certain people, and like just the way I've been embraced in the media space by others in the media space, like I don't have any issue reaching out to whoever that works for whoever no more. I used to wonder how you get to a nigga on Hip Hop DX or get to somebody like that to get your music to, and now I talk to him on the regular. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy how life works, but no, man, I'm still out here making music. I really just took a break. The last project I had was with my brother Job Warren. We did the EP. And so I spent a lot of time last year, bro, like performing, like going to different states, performing. Shout out to Clockwork Music. Booking agent does a lot of work with a lot of huge people. So, I went to Art Basel and performed out there. Performing in Atlanta and, shit like that, bro. So just, still trying to keep active, but trying to do this, bro. Because honestly, I told myself, long story short, I wanted to make money from podcasting, right? So, niggas hit you with like, oh, you got to have 5,000 subscribers here. You got to have this much watch time. And I was like, I don't like that. I was like, it's going to take too long. What if I just produce podcasts or make media myself?
Right.
And so let that sustain me financially as far as being able to do it and then do my own shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just trying to balance it all out, man. Honestly and truly, just making whatever I can happen and trying to stay working, man. Raising a family type of shit. So that's the difference in like the old me compared to now. It's like, man, I got to leave here and figure out dinner for my family. You know what I'm saying? So, man, other than that, man, just working, bro, honestly. Oh, and for those who don't know, if y'all, whatever camera we on, I did work with October years ago with my brother. Shout out to Necessary, man. Right up front for Ness.
What up, Ness?
Man, Ness was one of the first people that ever showed me love as an artist. Like when I met him, he was like, "Man, you want to do a song?" And it was like I met him that day. You know what I'm saying? Like so, we ended up. I think it was on the Righteous EP. We had a record called Thinking Out Loud. Was it?
Yep.
And then there was it was I Gotta Go to Church. I believe that was one. So we had I think I got a couple with him that was on your beats. That's kind of how I came about you. And then I think we had another situation with Miss London. Shout out to Miss London. She did a record. Did a video too. All kind of shit. We recorded at your studio. I actually met Kirk Franklin at we went to the studio with you.
So that's not my studio, but that
studio,
was Luminous.
yeah, Luminous, yeah.
Yep.
Up there that night, I actually met Kirk Franklin that night. Me and the homie thought we was tripping. We thought it was Clyde's.
He was goofing off. As he always did.
Yeah, man. So definitely dope. It's crazy how things come full circle, bro. Like it's super dope to see you again, bro. And like just know you still out here killing it, man. Got little man here with you. Shout out to you coming being patient with us.
He wasn't even thought of when we was doing all that stuff.
How old is he?
He's 7.
Man, I got a son that turns 6 in a month, bro. So it's crazy, bro. Yep. That's crazy. Yeah, man. Life is different, man, but still working, bro. So still trying to squeeze in them same doors, just in a different path now. You know what I'm saying?
Question for you too. I was watching. It looked like Spitter and Andretti Currency sent y'all that pack.
We did the unboxing of the
vinyls.
Yeah, bro, we did a whole.
How did that come about?
Man, the homie is just really into him, bro. And like I've had the chance to meet Currency twice. He came out here and sold out trees one day, and I hosted his meet and greet. And so just meeting him, get to know him. And then when I went to Miami, he performed there, and getting a chance to meet him again, bro. And like just reaching out to him, the same old same, just trying to be a part of some shit, bro. And like luckily, the thing I always and you like you said, equality. So when people see your shit, you know what I'm saying? I actually did a performance video for him as well at the show, and I just kind of sent it to him, just kind of like, hey, bro, I did this shit. I ain't looking for no bread. I'm a fan type shit. So just trying to keep my name out there as much as I can, man, as much work as I could do, and that was huge because I'm a fan. So yeah, that shit's super dope. He had all 4 albums in there. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of little trinkets and shit he had to send with it, but super dope, man. Super dope guy for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. Just working, man, honestly and truly. So shout out to everybody. Hopefully this should be out here within a week, man. So if you get a chance, I know
let us know.
Man,
we'll chop it up and keep sharing it for real.
Oh yeah, I got you, most definitely, man.
March 22nd.
Oh, I was just finna say that.
March 22nd, next Friday, the Pharmacy Family, Rakim Al-Jabbar. La Pharmacy Familia, executive produced by Donnie Domino. Got tracks on there with Oktober1st, Bud Beats. You know what I'm saying? This is getting ready to be something different.
I already know, man.
This not rapping Rakim. He putting together records, bro.
Listen, man, that's what it's about.
Shout out to Rakim.
I always wanted to see, man. I always wanted to see
Visionary,
that. He is, man, and he a young nigga too. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the part about it that be tripping me out when I talk to him. Like, bro, why I seem like you older than me when I talk to you? Like that's what I got.
He's enlightened, man. People don't know about his pop's been around.
Facts, legendary out here. Legendary.
So he carrying the torch.
Yeah, man. Day before my birthday, man. That's definitely a blessing. I'm looking forward to. I saw you shot the video here, shooting a video recently.
Yep.
I always get excited about that.
Stack Moses.
Okay, shout out to Stack Moses. I see my boy Justin Livingston out there. I see y'all, man, working. Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know Stack was shooting it though. Yeah,
it's a movie.
Oh so I can only imagine.
One of them one.
I can only imagine. Listen, if you gonna go all out, you got to go all out. You know what I'm saying? Go with the right people to get what you want out of it, and make sure it looks and feels how it should. Man, that's a big deal. So
for sure.
Yeah, man, look out for my brother Rakim Al-Jabbar, definitely. And the whole project drops on the 22nd, or just that record?
The whole project.
Oh, the whole project. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Iris Inc. too. That's who's distributing.
All right, before we go, can you tell me what that is? Because I've seen the I don't even.
That's it started off as a nonprofit.
Okay.
And then he moved into aggregation and distribution. So we cut out the middleman and
straight to it.
Black owned. He takes care of it as long as we get it to him. At least 2 months in advance. He's gonna pitch it to all playlists and everything. He's got a dashboard. You know what I'm saying? You know where the money is. So if you're an upcoming artist in Dallas and you making some noise and you want to cut out, DistroKid or TuneCore or what have you, you got a distributor right here in the city.
That's crazy,
Matthew Wynn, M-Saw.
I'm so glad I asked that. I did want to ask about that because I kept seeing it, and I mean, I'm one of those people that quick glance at shit a lot. So I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't do a deep dive dive into it.
That's cool.
But I did want to know what that was because he did. You know how he is. I think he's always cryptic. So he said, "Yeah, I got this company. You know, I'm working with. I ain't really saying too much about it right now." Now, you know, I always respect the privacy of artists when it's real. I've had a lot of artists be like, "Man, I can't tell you who the producer is. I can't," and it don't really be worth it. You could have told me, nigga. Like, you really could. It might have helped you if you told me. You know what I'm saying?
Streams, and they don't want to talk about it.
Exactly. Oh man, we can talk all night about that. Listen, for real, man. But again, appreciate y'all coming out. It's caution, Mr. 700, Mr. Oktober1st himself, and Buchanan.
Let's go.
We out here.